Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this card. We've got a lovely witch in here and of course Luka, her cat, looking on. So enough chat from me, let's have a go. So I'm taking my A6 multifarious card and your Elements Ink Sundance and load it with colour. And to the top, sort of left of centre, we're going to start with a rather lovely circular movement. And we're going to move on quickly to our Elements Ink Russet Orange. Okay, and we're just going to load up the corners at the top and then swirl round that lovely circle. It's quite therapeutic, this. There we go. Now I'm going to use some Elements Ink Paprika because it's rather a luscious colour. And I'm going to pop that in the corners. Now we're going to go back to the russet orange and just blend some of that lovely colour. Look at those two colours together, they look delicious. Slightly darker than we did before, and just swipe some extra depth across the top there. Grab your fan brush, load it with some water and just tap it over your work. So I'll give it a blast of heat. I'm grabbing a piece of paper towel to just mop up the excess water. I'm going to grab my brush that had the Elements Ink Sundance on, so that's the series 9, load it with a little bit more and just go over where we've got some water splotches, because I love this idea of those little water splotches taking on a colour all of their own. And it'll help us if we decide to colour into those later, that they look magical already. Right, I'm going to rip some paper. I seem to be doing this a lot at the moment. I just like that rough edge that you get with ripped paper. I'm going to just turn that, and I want it to have a nice sweep up to the right. So I'm going to put my paper so that I create this lovely line, can you see, underneath here? And I'm going to grab my dark denim and just put a little bit on my brush, because I always think the further away it is, the lighter it needs to be. So I'm just going to brush down from this paper. Making sure that to the right it's slightly longer. There we go. I'm going to load up my brush again, and this time, because that went that way, we're going to go the opposite way. And again, we're going to start by brushing down. We're not really wanting to make too much of this bit. It's just to give it a bit of texture. Now this is the darker one. And I'm going to just give that the angle. Not quite as steep as before, but it's darker this time. Still, we haven't moved from dark denim. But I am making this one just that little bit darker at the very top of the ridge. So when I take that off, we've got these lovely ridges, these platforms to build on. Today we're going to put Luka in one position, and then we're going to put one of the witches from the Coven of the Blue Moon up there. I'm inking her up in Versafine Clair Nocturne. Now I'm going to make sure she's grounded, so I'm going to tuck her just a little bit lower than that line that we created. So she's just off centre to the right. There we go. Now while we're doing this, let's pop Luka into position. There we go. And I'm going to make sure that he's seated by popping him just below that ridge, like the witch's familiar keeping watch. Lovely. So now I'm going to grab that vine branch. Oh, I love this. Vine branch is fabulous because you don't have to use all of it. You can just use the twiddly little bits that you like at the time. They don't have to be so, it doesn't have to be that straight branch. You can just use the branches. You can use the twirly swirly of the trunk. I love that. It's a light frame. It's not, I mean, I'm going to add dark around it, but even still, it just reaches out from that dark and creates this lovely organic frame. Let's grab this lovely thistle stamp. It's from the Forest Moss set, and we're just going to add this to the bottom. Do love this idea that Luka's watching over the witch. Wonderful. I'm going to get my Series 3 stencil brush and grab myself some Mermaid Me. And I'm just going to add it down the outside. Look at the way it reacts with that orange. Isn't that lovely? I'm going to add a little bit, just a faint touch of mermaid underneath our witch and also around the tail of Luka. There we go. Grab your aqua green Posca pen and we're just going to add a little bit of definition to these buds, I suppose, at the end of these branches. Or are they olives, I wonder? They can be whatever you want them to be. In this case, they're going to be aqua green olives. And I'm also going to use this to create some rather mystical dust around the witch. But we're just going to do some closed circles and then we're going to make it rise towards the sun. Imagine if you had a spell that would just whisk away all your housework. That's what I'm imagining here, that this witch has decided housework's not for me, I'm going to let the magic do it. And to create that magic, she has to go out into the sunset with her broom. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And let's give Luka some of this magic too. And those dots then join the witch and the cat together. Now, grab your quickie glue pen. We're going to add a subtle bling to the thistles down the bottom. So I'm going to just outline, or if you like, highlight better, just better highlight than outline, the thistles. And I've chosen to do this on the right-hand side. And then once I get to the centre, I switch to the left. Right, we will blast this now with my heat tool. And I'm going to grab some red fab foil and just pop this colour side up and give it a little bit of a firm pressure. And we should, there we go, can you see how that catches the light? How lovely is that? That will give us a little subtle edge of bling to the very bottom of our card. There's nothing like a touch of fab foil, is there, for bringing things to life? But we are not finished, my friends. So what we're going to do is do a dot of glue next to that red line of fab foil. And let's give that a blast of air. I think that's enough. So this is ice blue. Oh, it's nice, the paper's still warm. Just by doing that, we get the contrast between that red foil and the ice blue. So that when we turn it from side to side, it's quite eye-catching. I think so anyway. I'm going to grab one of the darker oranges from the Mondeluz watercolour set, and I'm just going to line it on its side and do a little bit of quick shading in here. Let's just add some more up here around these branches. Now you see, because I'm colouring on the side, you don't get those horrid harsh lines, do you? You know? Now, I'm going to highlight the cat. There we go. Tiny dot on the nose with my quickie glue pen. Another quick blast of heat. And I'm going with the ice blue for the nose. There's a tiny little dot on the end of the nose, which is fabulous. I'm going to put a little bit of Cayman Stickles around this magical dust here. And a little bit of Cayman up the back of Luka the cat. And then it's Christmas red Stickles. And I'm going to go, where did I go? Just behind things here. And then we're going to do some red along the bottom of these thistles. So follow the stalks. You don't have to do all of them. Now let's get those words on, shall we? Sentiment stickers, 6. And there we go, embrace your craft. Slightly tongue-in-cheek this. Could it mean housework, embrace your craft? Or could it mean witchcraft? Choice is yours. Embrace your craft. And then grab your Kuretake clean colour real brush pens. I've gone for beige. And just pop that underneath and slightly up the right hand side of your sticker. Now I did cut away some of the space at the end of the words because I don't think you need them all the time. But you know, it's each to their own, as always. These are just guidance. there you go. We are done. Thank you very much for coming along and having a go at making this card with me. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. It's been great to have your company. I look forward to crafting with you again. Now, in the meantime, if you've got anything you want to say about this make, please pop it in the post below and I will do my best to get back in touch with you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, take care and you have fun crafting. Okay? See you soon. Bye.